For the workers in an area in California back in 2021, chaos would be witnessed and the sense of karma would be expressed. The 2010s was a toxic decade all across the nation, in particular the United States of America. And the incident that we will be discussing today is not even the 2010s. It's close to the 2010s, right when it was over, but as you know, each decade is different and things start changing momentarily, not instantly. It was the morning of May 26, 2021, my birthday. It began like any other day for the workers at San Jose's Guadalupe Light Rail Yard. Mechanics, operators, and technicians clocked in for another long shift, maintaining the train system that keeps Silicon Valley moving. By 6:45 a.m., that ordinary morning had turned into the deadliest mass shooting in Bay Area history. The Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority, better known as VTA, employs about 2,000 people and operates light rail and bus systems across Santa Clara County. By the way, this is the county in which San Jose, California is in. The Guadalupe Division Yard, near downtown San Jose, is not just another depot. It's the nerve center of VTA operations. 5 buildings packed with repair bays, offices, and control rooms, all surrounded by rail cars and heavy machinery. That morning, around 100 staff members were present, some ending overnight shifts, others just starting their day. At 5:39 a.m., 60-year-old Samuel Cassidy left his home in San Jose, California, South San Jose. Before driving off, he set it ablaze. Investigators later found he'd rigged ammunition and accelerants to ignite once the stove heated up. While firefighters were still rushing to the burning home, Cassidy drove 8 miles north to his workplace, Light Rail Yard. At 6:33 a.m., the first 911 calls were made. Within minutes, chaos had erupted across buildings A and B. Cassidy moved through 2 conference and operating areas, targeting some co-workers and sparing others. Witnesses would later describe it as deliberate, almost methodical. By 6:43, police had cornered him on the 3rd floor. He killed himself before they could make contact. In less than 15 minutes, 9 VTA employees were dead. Every one of those 9 were part of San Jose's essential backbone: operators, maintainers, fathers, husbands, and friends. Their names deserve to be remembered: Paul Mejia, Taptej Sain, Adrian Balesa, Jose Hernandez, Timothy Romo, Michael Rudemekin, Abdulwahab Alagamandan, Lars Lane, and Alex Fritsch. A 10th victim, a co-worker who survived the attack briefly, returned to work but later died by suicide. The emotional toll of that day continued long after the news fans left. Who was Samuel Cassidy? A long-time VTA employee, 20 years on the job. On paper, he was a substation maintainer. In reality, co-workers described frequent anger, resentment, and paranoia. He argued over work policies and once publicly vented on the agency's radio system. His ex-wife said he spoke of killing his co-workers more than a decade earlier. The red flag stretched even further. In 2016, U.S. Customs detained him after a trip to the Philippines. He had read books on terrorism and had them in his possession, as well as a notebook filled with hate toward his workplace. But there was no system to alert local authorities. No follow-up, no seizure of weapons. When investigators searched his burnt home later that day, they found 12 guns, 25,000 rounds of ammunition, and multiple Molotov cocktails. Cassidy legally owned the handgun to use in the attack. California's red flag laws could have intervened, but only if locals had known of the federal detainment. But they never did. The Santa Clara Valley Medical Center in San Jose tried to save 2 of the victims, but they were pronounced there later that day. The shooter and 6 others who died at the scene were identified through work records and IDs at the Santa Clara County Medical Examiner's Office. This office would later receive a 10th person, another victim of that shooting, once he committed suicide. President Biden called this shooting a horrific tragedy. Governor Gavin Newsom said, "Excuse my language, but what the hell is wrong with us?" San Jose's mayor, Sam Liccardo, quickly pushed for change. The city passed a first-in-the-nation requirement that gun owners carry liability insurance and pay annual fees to offset the public costs of gun violence. It sparked lawsuits and national attention, but it also marked a line in the sand. The aftermath at the VTA was equally heavy. Bus and rail services were suspected for months. Workers needed time, therapy, healing, and remembrance. A memorial fund and monument was planned for the victims. Even so, internal tension brewed. Some employees accused VTA leadership of offering public relations care rather than real support. Many sought help from their union instead. By late summer, the first light rail lines reopened, but the site where the shooting occurred remained scarred, its future still uncertain. In the years that followed, survivors and families sought accountability. Civil lawsuits accused the VTA, the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office, and private security contractors of ignoring warning signs about Cassidy. Judges recently allowed keychains to move forward, meaning families may still see their day in court. 8 of 9 of the victims have reached private settlements with the VTA outside of court. All other matters as of this lawsuit are pending. Safety upgrades and mental health programs across California, transit agencies followed in the wake of San Jose's shooting. Still, the deeper questions about red flag failures, workplace warning signs, and access to weapons remains unsolved. For workers at the Guadalupe yard, the trains run again. But the sound of frail wheels on steel carries a different weight now. A memory of those lost, and a reminder of the thin line between frustration and tragedy. In the heart of Silicon Valley, a place built on progress, 9 men went to work, not knowing their day would rewrite the city's history. I'm Santiago, your host, and this is Strawberry Ink True Crime. If you or someone you know is struggling with trauma or anger, please reach out. Help is always closer than what you think, at least sometimes, but you can assist yourself. Please be kind. It is understandable that 2021 was still experiencing the effects of such a toxic prior decade. I even remember 2021, how nonsense things and people could be, and how you could be nasty to someone and get away with it. Right now, in 2026, that has changed. You will be brought to justice. It's hard to think, why would this shooting happen in California? and not Ohio. We will never know. Till next time, stay safe and have a good day. May the 10 rest in peace.